Hello everyone, good evening. Welcome to Odoo for Beginners. Today we are going to discuss one use case. That use case is regarding with that manufacturing. The use case is regarding with that routing, how you can create the routes based on your requirement. So let's discuss what the use case is that. So now this is regarding with two-step and four-step manufacturing orders. Okay. By Odoo standard, if we can see the manufacturing process, we can see that one step, two step and three step. But here we are going to introduce with that four step manufacturing order. So use cases regarding with that our favorite industry, that is with the furniture industry. Here that industry going to manufacture two main products. First one is your basic table and second one is the luxury dining table. For basic table, it requires only the two-step manufacturing. So if we want to manufacture that product, it requires a two-step, that picking the components. That components will be consumed in that production department and then it will be moved to that stock. But if we want to manufacture the luxury dining table, then it follows the four-step, not three-step, four-step. First, components will be picked. It will be received at the pre-productions. Then it will be moved to the productions. After the productions consume those components, it will be moved to the post production, and for quality checking it will transport that quality locations, and then after completing that quality it move towards that stock. So here warehouse is one, products are different, and it follows the two different manufacturing path. So how we can configure that? So without wasting the time, let's jump to the database. I have created two products. That is our dining table. This is my luxury dining table. Another one is the basic table. That components, that BOM bill of material is the simple. Just I have added only one component that is available in the stock. Now, main important step number one, the configuration of that warehouse. I have created that warehouse, which is the two-step warehouse, and mentioned that it is going to manufacture in two-step because the dining table, because that basic table requires a two-step. So pick components and then manufacture. Now let's plan for that four-step manufacturing, how we can configure that. So for that, of course, we have to introduce the new locations. So let me introduce those new locations. For that, let me go to the locations. Here I have to introduce one locations with that post productions. So let me check that. Two-step, let me just group by that warehouse. Okay, it is already there. So let me check this location. Yeah, this location I have that post productions. I am going to create one more location, which is the quality locations. Okay, and that belongs to our two-step warehouses. Now step number one, configuration of warehouse and belong to locations are done from our side. Now step number two is the creation of routes itself. Okay, but for creation of routes, it's important that we need to create those operation steps. So for that, just let me go to that our warehouse that we have created. Okay, this is we have already created, and we can check that was already created by based on that configurations. So let me duplicate this. Now I am giving the name that two-step warehouse. In that four-step manufacturing. Manufacturing. Okay. Now here this four-step manufacturing is there. So here we can see that currently only the two pull from and pull from two rules are here. So this will move from stock to pre-production, pre-production to production. Now here we have to configure two more things, that post-production to quality location and quality location to a stock location. That how we can do that. For that we have to create the operation types. After that we have to configure that operation type in the rules, and then we have to create that route. Okay, so let me create that operation type. So let me duplicate this, and I am just going to create that operation time, because now we are moving from that post production to our quality locations. So let me create, going to operations, and I'm going to create that post production to quality locations. Okay, and that will be internal transfers. Okay, I'm just going to add any sequence prefix like let's consider the quality. Okay, now here we have to add that, so it's a post production, so I'm going to add that, and here we have to quality. Okay, now this is the created, we have created. Now we have to create one more, which is quality to stock. Okay, so let me just change the spelling here. Of course it will be internal transfers, and here we have to add that quality to stock. Okay, now operation type we have created, just let me add that stock. Now operations are created. Now we have to configure these operations in the rules. So now these are the routes. I have to add that post to quality, actions push to. We have to select that post production to quality. Let me just post production to quality. This is done. Everything is done, and let me save and close. And again, that quality to stock. Okay, so we have to again use that push to. No worries for that routes. I will create one more detailed video that how you can configure those routes. So quality to stock. Everything is there. Okay, now just let me see it. Okay, now this is the second step, that configuration of route. This is very important. You can configure routes based on the requirement. Now step number 3, that operations. Here we will check the manufacturing operation for that warehouse. Okay, here we can see that this manufacturing is for pre-production to stock, but now we have to create that one more. So what I am going to do, manufacturing 4 step. Okay, now here it will be pre-production to post-productions. Okay, now these are clear. Now step number 4, that we have to apply those routes on that particular products. So let me check that routes configuration again. This is the manufacturing. Yeah, 4-step manufacturing. That will be of course on our products. Again, this is my 2 steps. Big components, products are there. This is the 4-step manufacturing, and this is our 2-step. Okay, now everything is there. Now let's apply this routes on the products. So here, this is my first product, which is the taste room. This follows our standard 2-step manufacturing. So what we have to do here in this section, we have to mention that pick components and then manufacturers. And let me save this. But this is our not taste room. Our product is, let me open. Our product is basic table. In that we have to apply the routes. Okay, and this is written. And just let me open that bill of material. In this bill of material, with the miscellaneous, we have to found that 2-step manufacturing. Okay, this is very important. Now let me go to another products, which is our dining table. Okay, in that we have to apply this routes, which is 4-step manufacturing. Just let me check that this is perfect or not. For that, just let me go to the routes of that. This is 4-step manufacturing. And in the bill of material, this is also very important. In the bill of materials, we have to mention that it follows the 4-step. Okay, now everything is there. Now all setup is there. Now let's create that manufacturing order, and let's check how that manufacturing 2-step and 4-step works. So I'll just directly create the manufacturing order. First let me create for 2-step. So this is my product, which is the basic table. Okay, components are available. I'm just going to save it and confirm it. So here you can see that one transfer is created, which picks the components from stock to pre-productions. I'm just going to validate, and now this is the manufacturing order. This is my second step, and I'm just going to produce all. So this transfer the components from that location to a stock location. So 2-step is works perfectly. Now let's check for that 4 steps. So I'm going to create that manufacturing order, which is my dining table. Okay. Now let me save it and just let me confirm it. I have confirmed. So here you can see that the components are transferred. I'm just going to validate it. First step is clear. Now this is the thing, I am going to validate it. So here you can see that the second step is also validated, and here you can see that the two transfers are created which transfer the products. Here you can see that post production to quality location. I am just going to validate it, and based on that validation the next transfer is created, which is transfer the products from quality location to step location. So here for one warehouse you can configure the different routes and you can apply the routes on those products to make your production process very seamless. So you can test it, try it, and let me know if you have any queries. Thank you.